Yo, what's happening, everyone? This is episode 3 of the Mad Mondays show podcast thing. You know, that series that I made where I answer questions and just let you guys know a little bit more about me and who I am. And this is a very special episode because I'm coming to you from Aotearoa. I'm here in Huntley. I'm just at the bro Dietrich and his family's house, Heinz and them. And I'm just chilling. And I thought I'd make this before we head out to where we're supposed to be, which is in Taupo. So that's cool. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this episode. So this episode is called Becoming Nomad222. And I'm going to answer 7 questions about what that means, what that looks like, and everything like that. Man, look at that. Just look at all that green. That's their backyard. Anyway, what led to the creation of your artist name Nomad222? All right, so for those of you who don't know, I was already going by Nomad since 2015. I decided that if I was going to rap, I wanted to call myself Nomad because it's my name backwards. So my name is Damon. You flip that around, you get Nomad. And that was one of the reasons. The second reason was because in my formative years, in my school years, I learned a lot about the indigenous Australians and how they would live semi-nomadically, which meant that they would move from place to place, taking what they need from the land, but never too much. And it was a sustainable practice for them, so that every time that they would, circle around, they would come back, they would, what's the word? So they would go to a new place and they would try and leave it as good, if not better, than when they arrived there. And this allowed the land to rejuvenate. And when they would circle back to those spots, they would come back, all the land is replenished, the resources are, back to normal and things like that. I just thought that was really cool. And I've always had a deep admiration and respect for indigenous culture, not just in Australia, but around the world. And realize that there's a lot of similarities in indigenous Australian culture, as well as indigenous, M.A.D and Samoan culture. So yeah, there was that spiritual connection there for me. But yeah, the 222, when I decided to rebrand, which was in 2022, the reason why I decided to go with the 222, it was actually a toss-up because I was thinking about switching my name to Big Mad or Nomad222, but ultimately I went with Nomad222 because I was starting to learn a lot about angel numbers. And each angel number, there's a bunch of different reasons. There's a bunch of different, reasons why, meanings and definitions for angel numbers. And one of the ones for 222 was confirmation. And I was seeing 222 everywhere. I still see 222 everywhere to this day. But for me, I took it as confirmation that I'm supposed to be doing music, because there was a lot of doubt, there was a lot of self-doubt, there was a lot of feelings like I'm not made for this, I'm not supposed to be here, people don't want to see me succeed. But yeah, I had a lot of moments in 2022, 222 without the zero, or with a zero, that led me to believe that I do have what it takes to make it work in this industry, and I do have something unique to bring to the universe. And so that's ultimately what led us to rebranding the Nomad222. So that's it for that first question. The second question that I've got here is, how does your stage name reflect your identity and artistry? I feel like I kind of already explained that. I feel like it's got a lot to do with how I want to be perceived as an artist. I want to be known for creating something sustainable. The sustainability that the indigenous Australians practiced, and all the indigenous cultures around the world practice. I'm trying to sort of mirror that philosophy in how I create music. Just speaking to my desire of being a musician as a whole, I want to be doing this sustainably. I want to be living off of my creativity and being able to do what I love every single day. And so that's deeply important to me. And I think that speaks volumes to why I choose to be the nomad. And, just on a narrative journey, I do feel like I'm somewhat of a journeyman, and I'm trying my best to take a path less traveled and create a new lane for it. I know it sounds like I'm speaking in parables. I'm trying not to, but that's honestly how I feel. I feel like I'm on a journey that not a lot of people take or try. And I think I said it in the last episode too. I feel like a lot of people are more talented than me and could be doing what I'm doing, but just don't believe that it's possible. And so I feel like I have a duty to show that anybody can do it if I can do it, and that it is indeed possible. So that's my answer to question number 2. Question number 3 says, what message do you want your name to convey to your audience? All right, I feel like we're repeating questions here. I want my name to convey that I'm a journeyman and that I'm constantly on a journey. When we think of nomads, and I don't know why this comes to mind. I'm not even a Lord of the Rings fan like that, but Frodo Baggins and his journey, the entire fellowship of the Ring are all journeymen. They're all nomads. They're all coming together for this one collective goal, which is to return the ring. And again, I'm not a massive Lord of the Rings fan or anything like that. I don't even think I've watched them since like 2004 or 5. But I do know that it was a community that came together to achieve this one thing, which was get the ring to the thing and destroy it. I'm pretty sure they all signed up to destroy it or just return it. I don't know. But that's how I feel about this now. I want people to see themselves in me and realize that we're all nomads and we're all on this journey, and we can all be more powerful together. It's one thing to be a nomad on your own, but if you can be a nomad with a million other people, and you can all come together and try and achieve something together that's greater than one person, and I think that's beautiful. How has your persona as Nomad222 evolved since you began? I feel like I've stepped into my purpose fully, and I'm definitely 100% more confident than I was before Nomad222. There was just a lot of self-doubt, and there was a lot of not owning my artistry and not owning what I can actually do, what I bring to the table. And what I bring to the table, I might not be the greatest lyricist in the world, but I'm pretty fucking dope. I'm pretty good at what I do. I'm pretty good at putting some bars together and doing multi-syllabic rhyme schemes and things like that. And on top of that, I feel like I finally found my voice, a voice that's, unique to me. And obviously you can hear influences of J. Cole, and you can hear influences of Jay-Z, even La Russell recently, and Nipsey Hussle. And obviously I'm going to be influenced and inspired by the artists that came before me. But I feel like I finally amalgamated all of that and put in my own style to make it my own. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. But yeah, I think that's the major difference between what Nomad222 is compared to just Nomad, is just my confidence. I have my doubts here and there, but they're more doubts about the landscape of the music industry and how I fit into it. Because I won't deny it. I feel like what I bring to the table is considered niche now. By the powers that be, they try and keep us in a narrow box because they have a narrow view of what popular music is. But I know now, as Nomad222, that if I can just find my people, find my community, that I have what it takes to make it in this industry. So that's probably the biggest thing. What challenges have you faced in establishing your brand as Nomad222? The fact that people still think that I'm just Nomad, and it's more of a technical thing. People try and find my music as Nomad, and they say, "Oh, we can't find it. We don't know where to find your music." I'm like, "You got to add the 222." Or when I'm put onto lineups, and then they make the posters, and the graphic designers, go through these drafts, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, you got to add the 222." Or people don't even bother to ask if that's what I want, and I'm like, it's Nomad 222. It's not just Nomad anymore. So, and then that opens up a whole other can of worms where people start to think that I'm like, being difficult, and it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. It's my brand, so I need it all to be connected and have a synergy to an extent. So yeah, that's probably been the biggest challenge that I've faced. Yeah, and it's also like just getting used to it myself. I feel like it's still taking some time to be comfortable in saying Nomad 222 out loud, and Nomad 222 to other people when I'm introducing myself. So that's one thing. But we get there. We'll get there. Yeah. Anyway, what else do I want to say? Question number 6: how do you incorporate your personal values into your brand? That's been a major challenge from the beginning. Really, I've always felt like I am my brand, and I don't think I'm unique as an artist for that. But I do feel like I struggle to blend my authentic self into Nomad 222, and a part of that has kind of been, the shame that's built into trying to be an artist from Melbourne, and people kind of like making you feel ashamed of the fact that you want to create art and that you aspire to be a major artist in this world. And I think that came from, working in a lot of toxic environments, like, a lot of the warehouses that I've worked at, or, the places. I used to knock doors for a living for a period of time and get slammed in my face. And there's no opportunity there for me to be the artist, right? So I'm in a role now where I can sort of blend the two a lot better and blur those lines. And that's been amazing. But yeah, it's still something that I'm trying to get used to, where instead of playing like this, the thing that I always use is Hannah Montana. Instead of playing this Hannah Montana role where, I gotta be Miley and Hannah, like I gotta be Damon and Nomad 222, like I can just be who I am. And that's a combination of the two. But in saying that, I also do like the dual identity thing where, Nomad 222 can be all of my best qualities, and Damon can be an all-encompassing, vulnerable human being and things like that. But when I step on the stage, it's like a switch that turns on, and I can, be a higher version of myself. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And I hope that kind of answered the question. But anyway, let's talk about this last question. What does Nomad 222 mean to you on a personal level? I'm not too sure how to answer that. I feel like Nomad 222 to me on a personal level, that's a tough one. It's an escape. I think first and foremost, I do have to acknowledge that, like, there's a level of escapism there where, I've always kind of had these insecurities and self-doubts and, questions about myself since I was a kid. And, it's kind of been hard to overcome, but ever since I've been able to, channel this secret identity, I've always been big on superheroes and things like that, but, Clark Kent comes to mind, and we all know that Clark Kent, he wears the glasses, he's considered a bit of a dork, and that's very much, who he is. But when he takes the glasses off and he puts on the red and blue, he's Superman. He's the ultimate superhero with all the powers, no weaknesses except for kryptonite. But yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like Nomad 222 is my ability to be Superman, and I can shed this alter ego that kind of holds me back on a day-to-day, and I can be a higher version of myself, which I kind of said before. And yeah, I think there's something really empowering about that. I also think that some people might argue that it's a little bit delusional. That there's a level of psychosis that probably needs to be studied there. But yeah, for the most part, I think a lot of people would be able to understand where I'm coming from, and I hope that it's something that everybody can have, a version of themselves that they can, tap into at any point and flip that switch and just be a higher version of yourself. But yeah, with that being said, thank you for watching this. If you guys watched all the way to the end, I really do appreciate it. Make sure that you tap that like button if you liked it. If you didn't like it, hit that dislike button. Leave a comment below and let me know, if you guys have any questions for me that you want me to answer. If you guys want to know a little bit more about me, some of the questions that I've been asking, they're all generated by ChatGPT. So it'd be cool to be able to follow up these videos with some, questions from you guys. And, whatever you guys want to know about me, whether it's personal, whether it's artist related, music related, creativity related, yeah, I'm down for whatever. And yeah, if you did watch this all the way, comment mana below so I know that you guys watched it all the way. Anyway, make sure you subscribe to and watch the rest of my content. I really appreciate it. And remember that together we move.